Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Daily Double. We're learning Mishnah Yomi Maaser Sheni Perek Aleph Mishnah Zayin, and we'll start Perek Sheni Mishnah Aleph. Mishnah Zayin says in Lokan Avodim Ushvachos V'Karkos Behemat Meim Midmei Maaser Sheni. Now we learned that the idea of Maaser Sheni is to bring it to Yerushalayim and to take a vacation. If you look at your Maaser Sheni money as investments opportunity, you want to buy real estate, you want to buy some slaves, you want to buy non-kosher animals, right? To obviously build up your flock and sell the animals. For commercial purposes, you can't do that with Maaser Sheni. If you did it, but Yochal Kenegdan, you get penalized that you have to take chulin money, other money that you have in your bank account, and use that to buy whatever the value that you bought for the real estate. The $1 million you purchased for the real estate, the Maaser Sheni money, you got to pay out of your bank account to eat $1 million worth of fruits. Similarly, you can't pay your bills, right? You owe a zav or a zava, right? You saw some emissions, or Yoledes, she had a child, or your chayv achatas, Ashmi did a sin. You can't take Maaser Sheni because the Gemara says you have to be poreya your chov min achulin, right? You can't be poreya your chov min ha-Maaser. Davar shabachova eno bal min achulin. Something you're obligated has to come from non-kodesh money, not from Maaser Sheni money. Even Hevi Yochal connect them. He does it illegally, so these guys penalized again. He has to, whatever money he tried to save, he has to spend on Paris Maaser Sheni. Exactly. If you don't use Maaser Sheni for either eating, food, drink, or sikha to anoint yourself, that's part of your vacation, to get a nice massage with some nice olive oil, so then that's okay. But otherwise, anything else, you're penalized and you have to take your vacation and spend the money anyway. Second parak, Mishnah Aleph. Maaser Sheni nitan la'achila v'shila sikha. Like we said, it can be used for three things. Lechol davar shedarcha lechol. You can only purchase something which is edible. Lasach davar shedarcha lasach. And use something to anoint yourself, to rub yourself on your skin. That's something which people would use. And therefore, to buy wine or vinegar to rub on yourself, that's not normal. Oil is meant to be rubbed on your body. Let's say you have oil of Maaser Sheni, right? You squeeze out olives of Maaser Sheni and you have oil. You can't put spices in there. The reason being is because even though technically you're going to use this shemen, to put herbs in there that are Maaser Sheni in this shemen, it gets absorbed in the oil. It's not there anymore. It's not really felt, and you're being ma'abed. You're negating or getting rid of Maaser Sheni. Ben lokin b'tmei Maaser Sheni shemen mafutam. This is not something, right? People might anoint themselves in oil, but spicy oil with herbs and spices, that's not shava l'cholam. It's not what normal people do. So you can't use your money on that. Mafatim hu es hayayin. However, wine, you could take spices and herbs of Maaser Sheni and make a cocktail, a nice cocktail, right? Let's say you put some honey in there, you put some nice spices and herbs in your wine and your drink, and now it's worth more. So this concept basically means, let's take the example the Rav gives. The wine is worth 2 slime, right? The dvash and tavlin, the honey and the spices are worth 1 seller. So you mix them together. Now you put in 3 slime worth of produce, of value, and now it's worth 4. You can sell it for 4. So it added an extra seller of value. So therefore, how much do you have to consider Maaser Sheni, right? When you want to sell this or whatever, how much is considered as Kedusha Maaser Sheni out of this concoction, which is 4 slime? So obviously the yayin, which is 2 slime, is considered Maaser Sheni. The dvash and tavlin were not Maaser Sheni, so it's a 2 to 3 ratio, right? 2 parts Maaser Sheni, 1 part non-Maaser Sheni. So the shvach, which is the extra benefit that you got by mixing it, the added value that you got by mixing it together, is now 1 seller. So therefore, 1 seller you divide into 3 parts. 2/3 is Maaser Sheni. That was caused, the shvach was caused by Maaser Sheni, and 1/3 was caused by the non-kadosh dvash v'tavlin. So therefore, basically, your concoction has the value of 2 2/3 sela of Maaser Sheni. Dagim shenis bashlim kaplutos, fish that you cook together. Kaplutos is like leeks or a green onion, a scallion. Shal Maaser Sheni v'shbichu. Not a good recipe. Salmon with green onions, leeks. Shal Maaser Sheni v'shbichu hashevach v'cheshbon. Again, where each thing is discernible by itself. The herbs can be viewed by themselves and the fish by themselves. That's the way you calculate the cheshbon. Let's say you took dough and you put some spices in it, and now it's worth more. It smells better, but you can't see it anymore, right? The spices are mixed in. Ashvach l'sheni, right? Then it's worth the entire thing. Let's say the isa was worth 2 slime, and the spices were worth 2 slime. So now we don't say that no, it should go up. It should be 3 value of 3 slime Maaser Sheni, right? 2 plus a half. No, it's actually the whole thing is considered Maaser Sheni. If you can discern the different parts, right? The tavla and the herbs still remain in your drink, or they remain in on top of the fish that you cook. So then you go with cheshbon. If it's not nicker like bread, it just tastes better, and it's not nicker, it looks like one dough. So then the whole thing has the value of Maaser Sheni. I'm going to explain this more, this Mishnah, why is the whole thing in this case has the value of Maaser Sheni, coming up next.